Not only grown-ups can sing, we can too.
So easy on me, baby. I was still a child, didn't get the chance to.
CBC TV8 is having a kids karaoke show just for us. So children between the ages of 5 to 17 comment and join in for fun. Email Nadia Foster at nfoster@cbc.bb. Hear you soon. Bye.
For the past 19 years, QFM has been sharing with you, learning from you, and together building a community for all mature audiences. That's why we say Q is good for you. To our Q family, we say thank you for staying connected to Q 100.7 FM. QFM is a station of the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. CBC, celebrating 60, connecting Barbadian communities.
Are you a youth group, 4-H club, school, Cub Scout or Brownie Pack, or any organization or club with children ages 4 to 11 years? If yes is the answer, then we at Fun School, we're looking for you. Let's have fun singing, dancing, listening to amazing stories, doing craft, and so much more. I'm such a kid at heart. But to be part of this fun and exciting new season of Fun School, just simply send an email to Alicia Alves Grant at aagrant@cbc.bb for further details. Fun School is back, and we're looking for you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb.
This is the CBC Morning Report for today, Thursday, October 5th. I'm Tisha Hines. Good morning. In our top story at this hour, members of the deaf community want to be referred to by the right and acceptable terms. Bonnie Leonce, the manager of Signature Interpretations, speaking at a workshop recently, pointed out that there is still misunderstanding. However, a participant explained how the incorrect terms make them feel.
Members of our community want to be called, or what word or term should we use to identify them? There are lots of terms that we have heard growing up. There are lots of terms that we have heard that we hear today. But what is the correct term to address people who cannot? What is the term used? Explain why you want to be called that word or called that term. I prefer to be called deaf. Why? Because number one, that's a simple word and it doesn't need any addition. When you call us anything else, for example, deaf and dumb. So deaf and dumb, is that a term that we use still? So deaf and dumb is an old term. So never use the word dumb to identify a deaf person. when you label us, it makes us feel like we are less than what we are. But we want to be accepted, and we want to be a part of the community. We don't want to walk around feeling shame by that word dumb.
For members of the deaf community, the word deaf is a symbol of pride, as explained by another participant.
That word deaf, I want to let you know, that word deaf is a symbol of pride and identity and culture for us. So many times people say hearing impaired, and that is really a politically correct term, but that really conflicts with who we say we are and who we think we are. We are deaf people. Yes, people may want to say sometimes maybe that person can hear a little bit, so maybe we want to say hearing impaired, but the acceptable term is deaf or hard of hearing. So there's some people that have maybe a little bit of hearing who prefer to be called hard of hearing. But really and truly, even if you go to the US or any other territory, you will see that there are two terms that are used, deaf and hard of hearing. Okay, so thank you. So we can use deaf and hard of hearing to identify deaf people. Now, so we use those terms, but now where do we go from there?
Coming up on the CBC Morning Report, Guyana celebrates a major landmark.
Oh, hi. My name is Stacia Whitaker, and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist and a member of the Heart and Stroke Childhood Obesity Prevention Coalition. My motto is when in doubt, leave it out, and it goes for when I'm eating, because sometimes things have ingredients that we're not sure of, and I like to keep it simple. And if I'm eating something and I'm not sure the ingredients in that particular thing, then I choose to leave it out. So I keep my snacking simple with fruit, nuts, or just water. It's easy to remember, there's no added ingredients, and it's also very nutritious. So remember, childhood obesity is real, so choose healthier alternatives. And when in doubt, leave it out.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to see.
Guyana on Tuesday marked the 124th anniversary of the Arbitral Award of 1899, which established the land boundary between then British Guyana and Venezuela. Guyana's government, in a statement, reaffirmed its commitment to upholding the Arbitral Award's validity and respect for international law as the controversy with Venezuela continues. Details in this report from NCN TV.
The government in a statement said that the 1899 award was the culmination of arbitral proceedings, during which the respective territorial claims of Great Britain and Venezuela were addressed at great length and in detail by distinguished legal counsel representing the two states before the arbitral tribunal. For more than 6 decades after the 1899 award was delivered, the government noted that Venezuela treated the award as a final settlement of the matter. It consistently recognized, affirmed, and relied upon the 1899 award as a full, perfect, and final determination of the boundary with British Guyana. Between 1900 and 1905, Venezuela participated in a joint demarcation of the boundary in strict adherence to the letter of the 1899 award and emphatically refused to countenance even minor technical modifications of the boundary line described in the award. In addition, the government said that Venezuela proceeded to formally ratify the demarcated boundary in its domestic law and thereafter published official maps which depicted the boundary following the line described in the award. However, in 1962, as British Guyana was approaching its independence from Great Britain, Venezuela, by virtue of its expansionist ambition, abandoned the rule of law and good faith and laid claims to the Essequibo territory. As such, Guyana instituted proceedings against Venezuela by application to the International Court of Justice on March 29, 2018, asking the court to resolve the controversy. The government remains firmly of the view that the arbitral award of 1899 is valid. Therefore, Guyana is committed to a path of final and peaceful settlement, the government said, and will continue to adhere to the rule of international law and the procedures of the ICJ.
In Belize, Government Minister and former Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, Julius Espat, is calling on all elected representatives to ensure they submit their declarations of wealth to the Integrity Commission. The recent commission was sworn in at the end of 2022, but has not been active nor has it been accountable or transparent in terms of their undertakings. In this line, Minister Espat noted the onus also falls on the elected representatives as well as the media to ensure accountability.
The Integrity Commission is in place, but it's not only the commission, it is the elected representatives that have to be able to abide. There is a law that says that if you hand in your paperwork for the Integrity Commission, your assets, then there is a time then they charge you, I think, $100 a day penalty. We have not enacted that yet, but you have to send the message out. It is a responsibility of every elected official to be able to declare their assets. There's nothing wrong with that. Why? Because it gives you an idea of where you are, and everybody can be able to work under this level of transparency. That hasn't changed. But it is up to you guys. The media has to be able to follow it up. We have to be able to follow it up in government. But the responsibility also lies on the elected representatives to follow the law. I have done it from the day I was elected. Every year, you have to be able to file that report. And I think it's important, and a very important report to follow. It's in place. I think right now, when I handed mine in this year, the person told me that most people have been handing in. You have a couple people that haven't. And so I think we have to just be on top of it. Like everything else, you have to supervise it. You have to have oversight for it to work.
Jamaica Teachers Association says the recent incident at a high school that resulted in the hospitalization of a 14-year-old boy after he was assaulted by a senior student points to a deeper issue in the education system. The attacker has since been charged. TV Day reports.
According to reports, the 14-year-old was brutally beaten after accidentally stepping on the 11th grader's brand new shoes at Clark's. Reacting to the incident, JTA President Leighton Johnson says the attack is evidence of the dunce culture, which has been allowed to take root in the education sector.
We have allowed the acquisition of material possessions to be viewed as the ultimate means of validation for success. School administrators know very well that in many instances, students are distracted by fashion and fads, and the maintenance of these fashions and fads lead to students displaying behaviors that are disruptive, disgraceful, disrespectful, and violent.
He says teachers are at times fearful of students who use the acquisition of certain material items as a statement to indicate a group, a syndicate, or a gang they're part of.
It is based on these experiences why school administrators have engaged the process of implementing rules that seek to prevent the cultural practices, these negative cultural practices that can lead to violent behaviors from taking root in their schools, and to ensure that our schools remain safe spaces.
He also urged students to use conflict resolution skills and the restorative justice practices that are being taught and promoted in schools. But as for parents,
do not give your children high-end cell phones that will make them targets. Do not allow your children to take more than one device to school. Be conservative in the footwear and the bags that you give to your children, as we have seen where students have been robbed, hurt, and sad to say, killed for these things.
Thousands of Palestinian refugee children in Lebanon are unable to start the academic year on time. Fighting between factions has left schools destroyed inside the country's largest camp. The UN Refugee Agency says it's struggling to help because of low funding. We get more from Al Jazeera.
Classrooms used as firing positions and schools turned into military bases. For weeks, armed men controlled this school compound in Lebanon's largest camp for Palestinian refugees. Fierce factional fighting inside Ain al-Helwi, that's outside the state's control, is now over. The fighters have left under a ceasefire deal. But up to 11,000 children, that's a quarter of refugee school children, can't start the academic year.
I want to return to school. I miss my teachers, but my school has been destroyed, and the camp has been destroyed.
Tensions between Palestinian groups and their struggle for power plays out here. The latest round of violence killed tens of people and caused substantial damage. The ability of the UN agency responsible for the care of Palestinian refugees is under financial strain. It says it has to prioritize with its limited budget.
We are now preparing 3 schools, which are just at the entrances of the camp in 50 meters walking distance, to operate on a double shift to host these children for the coming months.
The agency has been hosting hundreds of families displaced by the fighting in other schools. Palestinians were living in poverty before the latest crisis.
Us Palestinians have a difficult life here, and now our homes have been destroyed.
UNRWA says there's only so much help it can provide, and it was already struggling to provide services before this emergency.
For many of these families, this is not the first time they've been displaced. Palestinian refugee camps in Lebanon have a long history of conflict due to the involvement of foreign and domestic actors.
The latest agreement aims to consolidate the ceasefire by expanding a joint security force that includes all factions, but many fear it won't be enough.
The Colombian government has issued a long-awaited public apology for the extrajudicial killings of 19 young men in the capital, Bogota. During the conflict with FARC rebels, Colombian soldiers carried out more than 6,000 so-called false positive killings where innocent civilians were murdered by the military and made out to be fighters. But a group of mothers fought for the truth and their children and are now being recognized. Al Jazeera reports from Bogota.
For almost 20 years, the mothers of Soacha fought for the truth about the brutal extrajudicial killings of their children. During the country's civil conflict, young men from the city's poor neighborhoods were lured away from their homes, shot by soldiers and presented as FARC rebels killed in combat. In exchange, the soldiers were rewarded with vacations and other benefits, a scandal known as false positives.
Many thanks for being here, for believing us, the crazy people who are telling the truth. I am here to represent my son, with my eyes, my hands, and my feet. Since he wasn't able to defend himself, here is his mother defending him. He was tricked and killed by the Battalion 46 in Cimatara, Santander.
In recent years, the country's judicial system has recognized their innocence, and the government is finally acknowledging its role in these crimes against humanity, asking for forgiveness at a public ceremony in Bogotá.
No eran guerrilleros.
They weren't guerrillas. They didn't commit any crimes. They didn't take on any confrontation with the armed forces. They were men whose dreams and lives were truncated for the criminal actions of members of the National Army. We apologize for these crimes that bring shame on us before the world.
But reaching this point has not been easy. The mothers have been threatened, insulted, and attacked for trying to clear their children's names. To this day, emotions run high. The 19 victims in Bogotá are among more than 6,000 extrajudicial killings across the country, carried out between 2004 and 2008 during the administration of former President Álvaro Uribe. While some low-ranking soldiers have been sentenced in connection with the deaths, grieving mothers are still trying to uncover who ordered the killings. Only weeks ago, the first general acknowledged his responsibility in front of the country's peace tribunal.
If we want a reconciled country, a country at peace, we need to heal and free ourselves. We also need those responsible to be here and tell the whole truth.
Time now to preview what's coming up on Morning Barbados. Well, today we feature a number of exceptional youth. We're also going to tell you about some initiatives aimed at young people. And to close it all out, we are talking social media buzz as we present what's trending online. Plus, we salute teachers for today, World Teachers Day. That's all coming up at 6:30. But next, we have more news, sports, and weather. Stay with us.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
98.1 The One is more than a station. We don't just play music, we keep you company, cheer you up, keep you informed and entertained. We are a vibe. What do you mean?
Every day we bring the party to you.
We are your #1 party station.
We love playing music for our listeners. And we're committed to working with our clients and advertisers to make sure that you get the attention that you deserve.
98.1 The One.
The Barbados Bar Association is calling for a commission of inquiry or an independent investigation into the discovery of a cell phone in the room of a police station where an attorney had been meeting with a client. The association made the appeal during a press conference following the conclusion of an investigation by police into the February 4th incident. A letter from the Office of the Police Commissioner last month indicated the investigation had not established any breaches in the protocol of clients' rights or attorney-client consultation privileges. Convener of the Bar Association's Criminal Law Committee, Marty Garnes, however, suggests the matter is of public importance and requires further action.
We from the Bar Association, in particular the Criminal Law Committee, we are asking at this point that a commission of inquiry be conducted in this matter, because the mere fact that the presence of a phone that has 3 pieces of duct tape on it, that in of itself has breached client-attorney privilege. Because there could only be 2 reasons why that is there. Either one, you are either calling that phone before the attorney comes in and listening in, or 2, it is being used to record.
The Bar Association has also taken issue with the investigation's conclusion that the phone was unserviceable.
I find that quite odd and quite strange, because I know for a fact when they have murder investigations, they take the phone, they get a warrant, go to Digicel or Flow, and they ask to see where the phone was, who phone it, in terms of looking at the SIM number on the inside the phone to see who it was purchased by, if it was registered to this particular SIM card, if there were any calls that were made from that particular phone. Nothing of the sort was revealed in the letter that we have here. So the question now becomes whether or not a proper investigation would have been carried out in this case.
Barbadians living in the diaspora have a new tool through which they can pay bills here in Barbados. It comes as local company SurePay rolls out several new features. Sharika Griffith has the details.
Traditionally, users had to have a local bank account to register for SurePay online. But the development of new digital technologies continues to provide new ways of doing business, and local company SurePay is staying in touch with the trends.
Now you can do so with any Visa or MasterCard debit or credit card. This makes it easy for persons in the diaspora to pay for services delivered in Barbados or on behalf of their families here at home. Consequently, the enhanced online portal now means that Barbadians working abroad can assist family and friends with online payments, including utilities, tertiary education fees, land taxes, I mentioned before, just name a few.
SurePay Director Anthony Yearwood was speaking as the island's leading bill payments service provider launched its expanded portal. Other new features include an option to receive a reminder when bills are due and automatic receipts by email or text message for completed transactions. With officials suggesting only about 15% of self-employed people are contributing to the national insurance scheme, Mr. Yearwood is offering government another option for collections.
With the government's approval and the cooperation of the NIS, SurePay stands ready and eager to facilitate self-employed persons making contributions to the NIS immediately through all of our channels, including the online channels. Our upgraded bill payments portal and mobile app, in addition to our over-the-counter service, offer a win-win for the government and consumers to help secure the future of the NIS by making it easy for self-employed business people to pay their contributions on time, and as the Prime Minister has suggested, even to pay over and above their regular payments when the business is in upswing.
In response, Minister in the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, Ryan Strawn, notes SurePay already facilitates the payment of taxes and fees to the state. He believes all avenues should be pursued to ensure it's easy for people to pay NIS.
I would advise SurePay to request a meeting with the NIS board and see how they can support in that effort, because in the same way that they already have 94 billers on their system, it is just an avenue with respect to collection in relation to that. So I see no difficulty in having that as an option.
2023 marks 20 years in the business for SurePay. Today, the company services 300,000 customers in 6 countries, processing $500,000 in payment transactions each month. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
Thanks, Sharika. The Springer Memorial School is hoping to have its High Performance Center completed in time for its 60th anniversary coming up next year. This has been disclosed by the school's physical education coordinator, Julie Phillips, during a service to mark the school's Founders Day. Sharika Griffith was also there.
One year after breaking ground on its $200,000 high-performance center, which will feature a 5-lane 200-meter track, the Springer Memorial School is hoping to have it completed in the year ahead. PE coordinator Julie Phillips shared the news as the school celebrates its 59th anniversary since being founded.
It's something when I came here over 22 years ago that we would have been discussing as a department, and to see it reach this far, we are indeed grateful. And it is our hope, it is our wish that when we celebrate our 60th year in 2024, that we can definitely say we have achieved our goal.
A group of students from the class of 75 pooled their personal funds and presented a check to assist in this regard.
It gives me great pleasure on behalf of the ladies standing here and those in the USA to present a check towards the completion of the Springer track, a check for $5,000 towards the track.
The celebrations are being held under the theme Opportunity, Purpose and Growth. Principal Cheryl Gill has encouraged the present students to seize the opportunity to learn.
Free education at the point of delivery might not mean to you what it meant to persons years ago. But students, you need to value this opportunity that you have to get a quality education at an institution such as this.
The audience, which included a faculty member who was present for the school's founding in 1964, witnessed the passing of the golden spoon from the former head girl to the present. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
Double World Championship bronze medalist Sade Williams was honored by government yesterday for her stellar performances in track and field during a ceremony at the Grantley Adams International Airport. CBC's Anmar Goodrich-Boyce was there and files this report.
When passengers touch down here at the Grantley Adams International Airport, one of the first things they will see is this, a portrait of Barbadian track and field superstar Sade Williams. The darling of local athletics was the center of attention this morning as she was honored by government during a special ceremony in the Arrivals Hall where two portraits of herself were unveiled. During the brief ceremony, which was attended by several track and field officials, including Barbados Olympic Association President Sandra Osborne, Vice President Cami Burr, and Director of Sports at the National Sports Council, Neil Murrell, the Double World Championship bronze medalist also received a check of $150,000 Barbados dollars.
Sade, this year you have demonstrated your consistency by repeating your bronze medal winning performance at the recently concluded World Athletic Championships in Budapest, Hungary. On each occasion, you have flown the Barbados flag high, signaling to the world that we remain a small but resourceful and talented nation. And I must add that in so doing, you have set a standard to be emulated by our youth.
Minister of Sports Charles Griffith said government is pleased to be able to highlight and recognize Sade's brilliance on the track.
This morning, government is, in a small way, recognizing the effort that Sade would have put in. I know that this is about dedication, this is about wanting more, and we have our eyes on the bigger prize next year in the summer, i.e. the Olympics, and we expect that you'll be doing podium in a golden way.
The lady of the moment was smiling from ear to ear as she was greeted by students of her alma maters, Cojan Parry and Harrison College. She expressed gratitude to Barbadians for their continued support as she aims to do even better in 2024.
I don't think a lot of people know this, but the bronze medal that I achieved this year, I was a little bit disappointed because I was expecting to upgrade from the bronze last year. So I was a little bit disappointed. So hopefully next year I can do a lot better medal-wise and time-wise.
Williams is currently enjoying some downtime before preparing for next year's Olympics in Paris on her quest to turn bronze to gold. Anmar Goodrich-Boyce, CBC Sports.
Congrats to Sade. Let's take a quick look at the forecast for today. It's cloudy at times with the occasional scattered light to moderate showers, periods of rain, and a slight chance of isolated thunderstorms. As we move into the evening period, what you can expect is cloudy conditions with clear periods with the occasional breeze scattered light showers. And that is today's morning report. Our next newscast is Newsday at 12 noon on TV8, followed by The World at 1 on our radio network of stations 100.7 FM, 98.1 The One, and 94.7 FM. Thanks for viewing. Morning Barbados is next.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning.
It's Thursday, October 5th. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good to have you with us. Welcome to another fantastic presentation. We're going to have a good day today. I can still hardly believe it's already Thursday, but so they say, so we have to go with it. I'm Tisha Hines. I'll be here with you until 8 o'clock this morning. And boy, do we have a show planned for you. We'll be reaching out and speaking with young people from all across Barbados who are doing fantastic things. I know you've heard the news about Sade Williams and her downtime here now and how she's been awarded and recognized with a portrait at the airport and all that wonderful stuff. So congratulations to her. We also have to say a special good morning. I saw in the news, I heard a few days ago, that a few ladies who were in the class of 1975 from the Springer Memorial School, they pooled some money and donated $5,000 to their school. That's amazing. Good stuff. Today is World Teachers Day. So we're celebrating teachers. How about that? Teachers change our lives. World Teachers Day is celebrated on October 5th, and it's a day of recognition and appreciation for teachers around the world. It's an occasion to celebrate the profound impact that teachers have on society by equipping students with the skills, knowledge, and values needed for success. This day also serves as a reminder of the importance of quality education and the role of teachers in achieving it. As World Teachers Day 2023 is here, let's delve into the significance of the day and its historical values and the ways you can join in honoring educators worldwide. Now, participation in World Teachers Day can take various forms. So to show your appreciation today for your teachers and educators, how about, doing some meaningful things for the younger ones? No trouble today for the teachers, okay? Be nice. Do everything the teachers say, because sometimes, you could get a little vexation in you, and then you give the teachers some trouble. So no trouble for teachers today. But you want to make sure you thank your teachers. So reach out for teachers you remember, teachers who impacted your life in whatever way. Make sure you thank them. Show gratitude, express your satisfaction for their guidance and dedication. You can also support educational initiatives, so donate to educational charities or your alma mater or schools or what have you, like the ladies that we talked about before. You want to join commemorative events where possible, so participate wherever there's seminars or what have you available, you want to participate. You can give them gifts. I remember a time where all the children used to show up, someone with a flower or an apple, something. Teacher always used to get gifts. I know a lot of children used to read hibiscus trees on the long walk to school. So the teachers used to get a lot of nice little flowers and so on from the students in showing their appreciation. And of course, you can share a teacher's impact. And that's important. I mean, there are so many stories we can share about how teachers have impacted our lives. There are two teachers in particular. I mean, I've had some wonderful teachers through the years. And for some of my teachers, particularly from secondary school, I still communicate with them, always excited to see them. But there are two teachers that in particular that, I must say I'm going to single out from primary school and then secondary school. So there was a teacher in primary school named Mr. Holder. And I remember he was in the BDF, but he was very regimental in how he dealt with us. So inspection for the fingernails. So my fingernails could never be this long. And he used to inspect the shoes. The shoes had to be shiny. You could not come in sweating after after lunch or break. Hair had to be well groomed, so no frizzies. No dog ears in the books. Had to make sure you got the dog ears out of the books. But what it did is it kind of made me very, very aware of my appearance, aware of how I treated my books and my things and stuff like that. And he also played some very interesting games in the classroom. So we played a game named Buzz to learn prime numbers. So he would go around the class and when it was a prime number, you had to say buzz. You better get it right because we get some licks. Not like these days where you don't get any lashes. But I never got any lashes, but some people did. So Mr. Holder, that's primary school. And then for secondary school, she was my deputy head, Yvette Brown, and she made a real impact on me. I felt like she used to be really hard on me. You know, sometimes you feel like that. I said, this lady doesn't like me. I felt that way. And then even after I left school, there was an opportunity for training and development and to move into a position that I really shouldn't have gotten at a company, because in my mind, I didn't feel as though I was qualified enough for it. And she vouched for me, and she heard about it, and she followed up, and she made sure that I got that position. I was like, wow, you know, she said, this is a student of mine, and she can get it done. And that meant the world to me. So I know there are many teachers who have done fantastic things through the years, but that still stays with me to this day because it changed the trajectory of my life, really. So thank you to all teachers who've touched and impacted my life through the years. And you should share your wonderful teacher stories today as well. Today is also National Be Nice Day. Now, I'm nice most days. You can't be nice every day, I'm being honest. But most days, yeah, so we want everybody to be nice today. You guys are laughing at me. Why are you playing crickets, guys? You know, it's true. Most days, like if there's 7 days in a week, I'd say I'm nice 6.5 days out of 7. That's a good score. Yeah, for sure. So every year on October 5th, people come together to celebrate Be Nice Day. It's a no-brainer. So all you have to do is be nice every day, all day. But unfortunately, in this complicated world, that's a tough thing to do on a daily basis. So let's try to do it today, because luckily there's one special day where you can fully concentrate on kindness towards others, something which ricochets back to us in our personal lives as well. So, you know, I usually say wear your smiles and do something nice for someone. So make sure you're nice today, okay? Be nice activities, hug a friend, spread the word. Now, when I say hug a friend, don't go to work and hug up people, because there's this little law now in place called sexual harassment in the workplace. The next thing you go into your workplace, hey, it's Be Nice Day, and you're HR. No, don't do that, all right? Make sure it's a friend. You know, spread a nice word, you know, say something nice to someone. Growing up in Barbados, pleasantries are very important to us. So a good morning, you look nice today. I love that outfit. Have a nice day can really make the difference. And I must say my colleagues here at CBC are really, really good at doing that. So, you know, you would walk down the corridor, and before you get from one end to the other, someone will say, I love that outfit, or you look nice today. How are you doing? How are the kids? You know, so we have that rapport here at CBC. So a special good morning to all my colleagues. I know you're going to be nice today. All right? I most certainly will try hardest to be nice all day too. All right, so that's that. So speaking about being nice, it's time for us to talk about a few exceptional youth. We're going to start with Matthew Briggs Legal, who is a triathlete. He was here with us a little while ago with his mom, Kathy Ann Briggs, and now they are back. When you were here last, Matthew, school was out, and now school is in, so it's good to have you here with us in your school clothes. Morning, Mommy.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have both of you with us.
Thank you.
How's back to school going?
It's been an experience, but something I'm getting used to.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's good stuff. You know, every day is not the same at school. And sometimes when you're in it, like I said, it feels like everything is not all together. But I can tell you everything is going to be A-okay. I know what turned out okay. You were heading off a few months back. You were preparing for your first Carifta triathlon in the Bahamas. All right?
Yes, please.
All right, so give us the report. I told you to come back and let us know how things went. So now is your opportunity.
Well, my Carifta journey started when I started training here. Special thanks to all my coaches that got me to this point. My running coach from Elite Distance, Althea. My coach Darren, the president of BFIT, for his all-rounding training in triathlon. Coach Antonio, who's my running and cycling coach, he helped reform all of my technique, and I am very thankful for him. And my swim coach, who went over the moon, even came to Bahamas to help me with my journey.
That's truly excellent, especially as we salute teachers today. Yes. That includes coaches, of course, they're teachers. Yes. So, Mom, I know it seemed like an uphill battle, and you were right there fighting along with him as well, trying to make things happen. So talk to me about how you guys were finally able to make it happen, and then how he performed.
Well, yes, his coaches were amazing, and I want to thank them all. They did an amazing job. And yes, I have to thank, when we left here, a lady called me and she said, I saw your son on Mornin Barbados and I want to help.
Wow.
And I talked to my friend and she also sent a donation, and that was the start.
Wow.
We didn't get, the kind of assistance that we were looking for, but friends and family came out, some strangers, and we were able to get what we needed. His dad was amazing. His dad worked tirelessly to get him to that point. My family and my friends, and we were able to get him off the rock on the 17th and into Miami. We were heading first to Jamaica for the Goodwill Swim Championships, and then we were due to go on to Bahamas. We didn't make it to Miami. That's an interesting story. To Jamaica, sorry. We ended up getting stuck in Miami, and him and two other teammates completely missed the Jamaica Goodwill Swim Championships this year, and it was a terrible experience for them. They were very sad, but they were resilient, and we made it to Bahamas, and he did amazing. He did an amazing job. I know he wanted to do more, but for what it was, he did amazing.
Well, it certainly sounds like you did. So you trained hard. Tell us how you did. Talk to us, first of all, about the championship itself and how you felt being there and competing, and then how you think that you performed.
Well, being in Bahamas was a whole new experience. Terrain difference. I'm not sure if it was just me, but I felt like the salt water there was saltier.
Saltier salt water, for sure.
Go ahead.
All in all, I think I did the best I could, and in the end, it was an experience, and the next one will be a greater experience.
For sure. So in the overall field of 25 boys in the triathlon, you placed 18th, and then 18th of 23 boys in the aquathlon, and his mixed relay team, which comprised of Matthew from Barbados, a Trinidadian and a Bahamian, and an Aruban, they missed the U, came 15th out of 28. So that's wonderful. And what's of particular interest to me is the triathlon and the aquathlon. To train for these is not just one discipline. So there are multiple disciplines for you to train in at once. And it must be truly challenging. While you were competing and then after, how were you feeling about yourself and being able to get there when at one stage you were thinking, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to go?
Well, being there in the middle of the triathlon, I had felt more alive than I have ever. It was an experience from the start to the end. Running in that finish line, each time I ran into that finish line, there was always somebody right behind me, either someone on the side cheering for me or somebody running right behind me for that finish line too. So it was always a push to the finish. And a great thank you to all my supporters, people that went to Bahamas with me, people that bent over backward to make this happen.
Yeah, when you see yourself in these photos that we're sharing, how does it make you feel? Must be tremendous pride you're feeling to be able to represent Barbados, wear those national colors.
Yes, I did. I felt very alive, and I felt very happy to be able to be given this privilege to represent both Barbados and to enjoy myself in something that I know I'm giving my all.
Absolutely. Now for Mom, for you, I can't say, how proud you must be for this young man. First of all, so articulate, so well spoken, such a great demeanor. It's very, very important. You did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you. I even before we left Barbados, I said to him, I remember on the way from one activity to the other, because he was training 7 days a week, sometimes 3-4 times a day. And I said to him, no matter what happens, I have seen the effort that you have put in, and I know you have done your best. So no matter what happens when you leave here, know that you have worked hard and you have earned whatever it is that you achieve. So I'm very proud of him. I'm proud. He worked hard. He worked hard. And it's early mornings. It's late into the evening. And all the kids put in a tremendous effort, whether it was the kids preparing for the Goodwill Swim Championships. And as you said, a triathlon is not one event. It's 3. They're swimming, they're running, they're cycling. And then on top of that, he was also preparing for a swim championship. So it was a tremendous effort on his part. And I watched it, and I said to the kids more often than not, I said, this is not some, and other parents always say, this is not something that we could do. It's 3 sports. And, most kids are they're doing one. They're doing football or cricket or just swimming by itself. These special children, and they're special, they have chosen the hard way. It's a hard life. I mean, last Sunday, he went to a triathlon. Because of the sea conditions, it ended up turning into a duathlon. It still had to be 3 events. So it was a run, a ride, and a run. He placed first in his category, which was land lovers. And at first he was saying, but Mommy, it's a lot. It's more because they changed it. Yeah. It's more than he was accustomed to doing. And he put his best foot forward at the Garrison. And we were impressed. His dad and I were very impressed. We understand that it's a lot. And we are just grateful that we are along with him for the ride.
Oh, that's truly exceptional. Congratulations. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but any special teachers you'd like to shout out today? I know you shouted out the coaches already, but a special teacher story perhaps?
Well, I have most of my primary school life, I've had all the best teachers. From the very start of primary school, or even further, nursery, all my teachers have been the best teachers I've ever had, and I just want to thank every single one of them. They have all supported me to this point in time. I still know all of them. My class 1 teacher, class 2, class 3, class 4 teachers, they all taught me important lessons, and I have to really thank them for it.
Oh, that's exceptional. Good stuff. So what are you training for next? What's coming up next for you?
Well, the most recent event, the one that will be next, is Nationals.
All right.
Triathlon Nationals on the 22nd at the Mighty Guyana Highway. Yeah, this one is.
I'll be cheering. Matthew,
yes.
Matthew, we're here from Mornin Barbados. That'll be me on the sideline cheering for you. All right.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
I want to thank 2 teachers. Yes.
Go right ahead.
My primary school teacher, Mr. Stuart Russell. He was an amazing influence in my life. I went to St. Giles Primary. And then over at Springer Memorial, my alma mater, Mrs. Hoyt, she was my home economics and then my home manager. All my teachers were amazing, but the ones who were big influences in my life, those are the 2 that I can say. I want to thank all of them, obviously, but Mr. Russell from St. Giles and Mrs. Hoyt from Springer Memorial.
All right, good stuff. Wonderful stories, saluting our exceptional youth and teachers too today. How about that? When we come back, there's another exceptional youth we're saluting on this fantastic Thursday on Morning Barbados. Stay with us.
98.1 The One is more than a station. We don't just play music, we keep you company, cheer you up, keep you informed and entertained. We are a vibe. What do you mean?
Every day, we bring the party to you.
We are your #1 party station.
We love playing music for our listeners.
And we're committed to working with our clients and advertisers to make sure that you get the attention that you deserve.
98.1 The One, celebrating 18 and still your #1 party station.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kielu.
All right, so it's time to feature an exceptional youth who is outside of Barbados now, but he has done some amazing things. So let me say good morning to Omari Bernard, representing for the Twin Republic of TNT. Good morning. Welcome to Mornin Barbados.
Thank you very much, and good morning to you, and good morning to all of Barbados and all of the Caribbean.
All right, so what's your school? Because I see you're wearing your uniform there. What's the name of your school, Omari?
My school is Naparima College.
All right, do your best today when you're going to school. And it's Teachers' Day, so make sure you salute your teachers as well, who do an exceptional job at helping you. Now, I understand that you wrote your very first book at 12 years old. Tell me how you got to that place.
How I got to that place? Well, I believe it all started from a pretty young age, and that from a very young age I love to read and write, and starting at, I'd say, 2018 or 2019, I started to get interested into computers. So I'm taking a beginner computer course, and within a few months I was able to complete that course. So I was trying to read intermediate, but then the pandemic started, so I had to read it online, and I finished the intermediate and the advanced course, and I then began getting interested into programming, in which I got into programming beginner, and I decided that I would write a book to help me and my mother save money studying in Denmark. Just because I wanted to inform the world about mindful technology use and how you can use technology to your benefit. Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, we missed some of it because with the technology, you were breaking up a little bit there. You said you wrote the book. This is all I heard. I wrote the book to help me and my mothers, but we didn't hear the rest of it. So can you repeat that for us?
Oh, well, besides helping me and my mother save up money to be able to study in Denmark, I also wrote the book to help inform people of how they can use technology mindfully and how they can limit technology use.
Oh, that's truly excellent. So you were driven by a need to help your mom. It's truly commendable. Now I know that you wanted to go to this very special school, and overall, when you did the exam, you were 11th overall in the entire country. So you've gone to your school of choice. You know, how has that been going for you?
Well, it's been going good. It's not the easiest experience, as it can be a lot of work, but I believe that once I continue working hard and I stay dedicated, I'll be able to be successful.
Have you thought about any particular areas you want to go in, particularly because at 12 you've already written about technology? Is that something that's near and dear to your heart?
Yeah, I think technology is one of the biggest things I want to go into alongside of business. I also want to go into the world of finance and business. So that maybe I could create a business based on technology and earn income that way whilst informing and assisting people in different ways.
And you also want to follow mom and study in Denmark. Any particular reason why you want to study in Denmark, or just because mom has been there?
My mother actually hasn't been to Denmark. I just want to study in Denmark because I've seen that it's a good overall place and it has a high quality of living. And from what I've researched, the universities are also some of the best in the world. And I believe it has a stable economy and a stable future.
Stable economy and stable future. So you definitely have been researching countries across the world, I would imagine, to be able to share more in that way, in such a detailed way about the country. So again, congratulations. Talk to me quickly about this book. I understand in the first few months that the book was up, you've been able to get quite a few sales on Amazon as well, and that must feel pretty well. You also received some funding from a few agencies throughout Trinidad as well. So that's good stuff. So talk to me about how you feel with the success of your book.
Well, I feel very happy with how the book has been so far. I believe that I want to push it out more, I want to advertise it more, so I can get some more sales from the general public. And I also want to create other books, like books on AI, business, technology, things like that. So this is only the beginning for me. I want to continue on to do more and more, but I'm happy with the progress I've made so far.
All right, that's truly exceptional. And that's why we're saluting you as our exceptional youth. Tell us about where we can find the book and what it costs. I'm going to give you an opportunity to encourage Barbadians to get online and buy and experience your book.
Well, you can get the book on Amazon. It's called The Mindful Tech Revolution, Finding Balance in a Digital Age. And you can get it for $10 for the physical copy, or $5 for the digital copy. And I do heavily encourage Barbadians and people across the Caribbean and across the world to buy the book, as it not only benefits me, but it also benefits you, as you learn a lot about technology and how to use your technology mindfully.
All right, today is a day that we are saluting teachers here on Morning Barbados. So are there any teachers that you would love to salute, or do you have an exceptional story about a teacher you'd like to share?
I think of one teacher I do salute is my Standard 1, Standard 4, and Standard 5 teacher, Miss Rufan. Since she helped me to get ready for SEA and to be able to get to the marks that I got, which was the place 11th in the country.
Oh, that's truly exceptional. So shouting out that teacher today. I want to thank you for coming and sharing with us. Continue on. It's always wonderful to hear of young people who love writing and who love reading, who have a passion, and most certainly who know what they want to do and are on a positive path. So it's good to have you on Morning Barbados today. Wishing you the very best, and maybe you can come on back and tell us how the sales are doing sometime in future, okay?
Okay.
All right, congratulations. Another exceptional youth. We're featuring from down the region today, from Trinidad. Omari Ben just became an author, really, at 12 years old. Amazing stuff, and writing about what he's passionate about. He said he's passionate about finance and technology. It's just after 7 o'clock. We're going to take a break here and come on back. Do stay with us.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You
get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
You know why?
It's summer vacation, and CBC TV8 says laugh a little. Your mid-mornings have now included some family-friendly, side-splitting series like The Partridge Family, Benson, and Designing Women. TV not to be missed this vacation. Weekdays from 10 a.m. on CBC TV8.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's time now for an update of the news. Members of the deaf community want to be referred to by the right and acceptable terms. Bonnie Leonce, the manager of Signature Interpretations, speaking at a workshop recently, pointed out that there's still misunderstanding. However, a participant explained how the incorrect terms make them feel.
What these members of our community want to be called, or what word or term should we use to identify them. There are lots of terms that we have heard growing up. There are lots of terms that we have heard that we hear today. But what is the correct term to address people who cannot? What is the term used? Explain why you want to be called that word or called that term. I prefer to be called deaf. Why? Because number one, that's a simple word and it doesn't need any addition. When you call us anything else, for example, deaf and dumb. So, deaf and dumb, is that a term that we use still? So deaf and dumb is an old term. So never use the word dumb to identify a deaf person. When you label us, it makes us feel like we are less than what we are.
Morning.
But we want to be accepted and we want to be a part of the community. We don't want to walk around feeling shame by that word dumb.
As explained by another participant.
That word deaf, I want to let you know, that word deaf is a symbol of pride and identity and culture for us. So many times people say hearing impaired, and that is really a politically correct term, but that really conflicts with who we say we are and who we think we are. We are deaf people. Yes, people may want to say sometimes maybe that person can hear a little bit, so maybe we want to say hearing impaired, but the acceptable term is deaf or hard of hearing. So there's some people that have maybe a little bit of hearing who prefer to be called hard of hearing. But really and truly, even if you go to the US or any other territory, you will see that there are two terms that are used, deaf and hard of hearing. Okay, so thank you. So we can use deaf and hard of hearing to identify deaf people. Now, so we use those terms, but now where do we go from there?
The Barbados Bar Association is calling for a commission of inquiry or an independent investigation into the discovery of a cell phone in the room of a police station where an attorney had been meeting with a client. The association made the appeal during a press conference following the conclusion of an investigation by the police into the February 4th incident. A letter from the Office of the Police Commissioner last month indicated the investigation had not established any breaches in the protocol of clients' rights or attorney-client consultation privileges. Convener of the Bar Association's Criminal Law Committee, Marty Garnes, however, suggests the matter is of public importance and requires further action.
We from the Bar Association, in particular the Criminal Law Committee, we are asking at this point that a commission of inquiry be conducted in this matter, because the mere fact that the presence of a phone that has 3 pieces of duct tape on it, that in of itself has breached client-attorney privilege, because there could only be 2 reasons why that is there. Either one, you are either calling that phone before the attorney comes in and listening in, or 2, it is being used to record.
Our association has also taken issue with the investigation's conclusion that the phone was unserviceable.
I find that quite odd and quite strange, because I know for a fact when they have murder investigations, they take the phone, they get a warrant, go to Digicel or Flow, and they ask to see where the phone was, in terms of looking at the same number on the inside the phone, to see who it was purchased by, if it was registered to this particular SIM card, if there were any calls that were made from that particular phone. Nothing of the sort was revealed in the letter that we have here. So the question now becomes whether or not a proper investigation would have been carried out in this case.
Double World Championship bronze medalist Sade Williams was honored by government yesterday for her stellar performances in track and field during a ceremony at the Grantley Adams International Airport. CBC's Anmar Goodrich-Boyce was there.
When passengers touch down here at the Grantley Adams International Airport, one of the first things they will see is this, a portrait of Barbadian track and field superstar Sade Williams. The darling of local athletics was the center of attention this morning, as she was honored by government during a special ceremony in the arrivals hall, where 2 portraits of herself were unveiled. During the brief ceremony, which was attended by several track and field officials, including Barbados Olympic Association President Sandra Osborne, Vice President Cami Burr, and Director of Sports at the National Sports Council, Neil Murrell, the Double World Championship bronze medalist also received a check of $150,000 Barbados dollars.
Sade, this year you have demonstrated your consistency by repeating your bronze medal winning performance at the recently concluded World Athletic Championships in Budapest, Hungary. On each occasion, you have flown the Barbados flag high, signaling to the world that we remain a small but resourceful and talented nation. And I must add that in so doing, you have set a standard to be emulated by our youth.
Minister of Sports Charles Griffith said government is pleased to be able to highlight and recognize Sade's brilliance on the track.
This morning, government is in a small way recognizing the effort that Sade will have put in. I know that this is about dedication, this is about wanting more, and we have our eyes on the bigger prize next year in the summer, i.e. the Olympics, and we expect that you'll be doing podium in a golden way.
The lady of the moment was smiling from ear to ear as she was greeted by students of her alma maters, Cojan Parry and Harrison College. She expressed gratitude to Barbadians for their continued support as she aims to do even better in 2024.
I don't think a lot of people know this, but the bronze medal that I achieved this year, I was a little bit disappointed because I was expecting to upgrade from the bronze last year. So I was a little bit disappointed. So hopefully next year I can do a lot better medal-wise and time-wise.
Williams is currently enjoying some downtime before preparing for next year's Olympics in Paris on her quest to turn bronze to gold. Anmar Goodrich-Boyce, CBC Sports.
And congratulations. Our next newscast is Newsday at 12 noon on TV8, followed by The World at 1 via our radio network of stations, 100.7 FM, 94.7 FM, and 98.1 The One. Morning Barbados continues after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So just about 14 minutes after 7 o'clock. Welcome back. Good to have you with us. And remember, feel free to share all of your fantastic teacher stories as we celebrate teachers today on Morning Barbados. Everybody has a great teacher story. There's always a teacher who touches someone's life in a way that they just can't forget. So think about all those fantastic teacher stories today. And then for me, it's always amazing that because the teachers are grown, I would imagine, and you're growing, it's always amazing to see this person was your teacher and they still look the same way. And here you are 30 years later. Yeah, that's just like a side thing. So make sure you salute all those wonderful teachers in your lives. And speaking of teachers, we have two teachers. They're teachers in their own right and in a very special way. Pastor David Hines, who's pastor of the Blueprint community based here in Barbados, and he's brought along Omar Taki, who's pastor of Arc 2.0 based in the UK. Welcome. Good morning, gentlemen. Good to have you with us.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
All right, so I'm going to start with you, Pastor Hines, not only because your name is Hines, but because I know that you're hosting Pastor Taki for the next few days as you put on something that is targeting young people specifically, which is something that's very close to us here at Morning Barbados. So talk to us about this particular initiative, Exodus, The Way Out.
Hi, good morning, Barbados. Honored to be here. So we, the members of the Blueprint community, we came up with this program, Exodus, The Way Out. Basically is from the story of the Israelites leaving Egypt. And for years they were in Egypt under slavery, and they were crying out to God for a way out, for a better life, for what was promised to them. And today when we look around and we see our young people, they might not be verbally crying out to God, but their actions say that they want something better. They deserve something better, and they want a better life. So what we did, we linked up with Pastor Omar, who's from England, and invited him here for 10 days. And so far, we have been having a real exciting and good time with Pastor Omar. We have visited 3 schools already, and we will be at 2 more schools today. And then on Friday at the Foundation School, we will be having the youth rally.
Excellent. Now, before we go over to Pastor Omar, you have to set the scene for us and tell us why you chose him to be a part of this rally where you're going after young people.
Okay, Pastor Omar has a very, very powerful and impactful story. He was raised in a home where his father walked out on his mother. So he was being raised by a single parent. He was involved in drugs, crime, a lot of negative things. He saw his sister being abused by her boyfriend, and he was stabbed. So he went through a lot. and he's only 30 years old. So I said to the others, I think Omar would be perfect to share his story because a lot of our young people are experiencing the same thing today. And they need someone to identify with, someone that went through and overcame and is now living a victorious life.
That's truly excellent. Pastor Omar, welcome to Barbados.
Thank you very much.
All right, so talk to us about your involvement with this. When Pastor David reached out and said, we want you to come to Barbados and share your story. I know there's a lot happening in the UK right now as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying that black youth in the UK are in crisis as well.
Yeah.
But this is a cry we're hearing across the world. I don't like to use that term because there are things going on, but I don't believe we should say that our youth are in crisis. But just yesterday, I saw some of what's happening in the streets with the fighting and knifing and stuff like that. So coming from that place, you know, what are your thoughts being called by Pastor David to come into Barbados and talk to youth about these things that are happening across the globe?
I mean, the first thing is that this problem is universal. It's not something that's just located in your specific area, but it's something that's worldwide. And I've been in contact with Ambrose Carter from Amar Empowerment, and he wanted me to come here recently, last year, but when David got in contact with me, I jumped at it because I missed the first opportunity. And coming into the schools and speaking with the children and seeing their reaction to me sharing my story, I mean, there's been dozens of children who will stay behind just to share what they're going through as well. And that really just speaks to the silent cry. You know, David said that the Israelites were crying out to God, but children are silently crying and we can't hear it. And someone needs to be able to identify with that same sound and show them that I cry too, or that silent cry has come from me as well. And that's caused the children to come and share their story with me as well. So it's been very impactful to come here and see that it's universal and it's impacting everybody. And yeah, it touches my heart. So it's been an experience. Let's
talk about the initiatives that will come off in the 10 days that we have Pastor Omar here with us.
Okay, so as I said, we started from last week Sunday. Pastor Omar was at the Blueprint community. The Blueprint community actually worships at Foundation every Sunday at 10 o'clock. So he was there this Sunday, and then Monday we went to, help me. Daryl Jordan. I still hooked on St. Lucie Secondary. So Monday we spent the morning with Daryl Jordan students. On Tuesday we spent the afternoon with St. George Secondary School, and yesterday we were at Foundation School. Today we are going to be at Sharon Primary, and then the Juvenile Correction Center. And tomorrow there's going to be a big youth rally at the Foundation School, inside the Foundation School Hall. That's going to be starting at 7:15. And then Saturday, we're going to be in Silver Hill. We're going to be spending some time in Silver Hill, interacting with the youth in Silver Hill, and that will start at 6:15.
All right, so I know you have for the youth rally tomorrow, you have Dynamo, who has come through the ranks, performing and things like that, and Nisha Woods. Talk to me about the form that rally will take.
Yeah, you mean the one with Nisha or Dynamo?
Well, I'm not sure.
Oh, so Dynamo
let's talk about the youth rally tomorrow first.
Yeah. So Dynamo will be at the youth rally. I think the majority of Christian youth might know who Dynamo is. He might not be that familiar. A lot of the unsaved, the unchristian youth might not know
Trust
who Dynamo
me, we know who Dynamo is.
Okay, cool.
He competed in Junior Monarch for many, many years.
Correct.
And he also has a very, very vibrant platform online.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be there performing on Friday night, right? So it's not only Pastor Omar coming and sharing his story, but Dynamo will also be performing. So the program is catered to young people. But you know, sometimes when people say it's a youth program, a lot of adults stay away. But I think one of the ways to really speak to our young people is to bridge that gap. So don't allow the word youth rally to stop you adults from attending, because we have to be by the side of the youth to make sure that they understand where success is to be found. So I'm encouraging not only the youth to come out tomorrow night, but I'm also encouraging some adults to come out and support the young people.
All right, what are we missing, Pastor Omar, in talking with young people I know some people say that adults talk at them, don't necessarily listen. Both of you have been talking about youth crying out, not necessarily in a physical kind of way, but wanting that attention or needing that help. So what is it that you'd say that we're missing?
All right, so it's loaded because it's subjective. I can't give you an objective answer because every parent is different, every child is different. And I think it's catering towards that specific child's needs and not colouring. So I put it to you, I'm the oldest of 6. And my mum treated me the same way she treated all my other siblings. And let's say I was 13 years old, she still treat me like I'm the age of my other siblings. So there was that disconnect. And I'd say that parents grow with the children. And you don't treat a 3-year-old the same way you treat a 6-year-old. You don't treat a 6-year-old the same way you treat a 9-year-old. You grow as a parent in the same way the child is growing. And you slowly let go of the leash and let the child. And I think the point of parenting is to teach the child to be independent, not to be dependent. So I think it's slowly letting go of the leash, but at the same time, always being the listening ear and always being the one to speak with them and identify with their experiences. So yes, not talking at them, but talking with them, giving them a voice, allowing them to not be afraid to say certain things. They have to feel comfortable to be around you. And I know that's tricky because I'm a parent as well. And I anticipate the moment my daughter's 6 months old, and I anticipate those times when it's discipline and having to be a father and then having to be militant at the same time and how to manage those roles. So I think it's very tricky as a parent. But I think one of the things is allowing a child to find their voice. And I think however that is for you as a parent is very important.
How did you come to this place where you were comfortable in sharing your personal story? Because I know for a lot of people sharing their testimony, that can be a journey in and of itself.
That's a very good question. So I was an atheist for a long part of my life. I grew up in a loving home until my mum and father left. There was domestic violence, and one of the things that I was taught from my parents was what happens in this house stays in this house. Don't share your news with anybody. So I became very silent within, which made me very angry and explosive. And when I do things at school, no one would understand why I'd lash out or get detentions or get angry. And it's because I was holding a lot of things in that I hadn't shared with anybody. There's also the men don't cry thing that was taught culturally that was messing me up as well. Then getting involved in gangs and looking for father figures in the older guys. So I basically suppressed a lot of anger growing up. That came out in my involvement with women, my involvement in gangs, in fights. A lot of it was me trying to find an outlet. It came to the point of, and I say this sensitively, considering suicide. And I spoke with my mother at the age of 23 years old and told her that I've been contemplating it. She sent me over to a GP and they were going to give me antidepressants for my mind, and I rejected them. At the same time, my cousin invited to church and I went to church, and for the first time in my life, I felt like all of my rage, anger, bitterness was sucked out of me, and I actually felt like I'd been accepted. I felt life in my brain when my mind felt mentally dead. And so because my whole life was seeking validation from others, I finally felt validated by something I'd never experienced before. It was like it was invisible, but it had validated me and given me love and acceptance. And so I decided to live for this other rather than for people, which then made me come out of my shell of, I'm not sharing this because I'm trying to protect you. I'm not sharing this because of what it could mean for this person. I'm now sharing it because I need to release myself and I need to confess. And by me sharing, I found that the more that I shared, the more I forgave. The more I shared my story, the more my story became human, the more I felt it. It was like the first time I wrote my story, I journaled it and I started crying as I was writing it. And it's like, that's how much pent up rage I had. But the more I shared it, and then I saw people come to me and hug me after sharing it when I thought they'd think you're a monster. People hugged me and accepted me. And that to me rewired the whole way I saw my story. So I shared it more, shared it more, shared it more. Then I saw other people coming to me and saying, I identify. And then it's those experiences that makes you say, you know what, why am I holding this back? So then the more I shared it, now I can laugh at myself for some of the things that have happened. I have no regrets because I've seen the positive impact. Though there was negative, I've seen the positive impact my story has made in people's lives. So it was a journey of me sharing, and it's also made me more articulate the more that I've shared. So that's another plus as well.
All right. Of course, that's just a portion of the story, and people, of course, will get to engage and interact with Pastor Omar a whole lot more as he continues to share from his personal journey. So that's Friday, October 6th. Then on Saturday, there's a community outreach.
Yes.
So let's talk a bit about that.
So over the last couple of weeks, prior to Omar after arriving in Barbados, we have been doing the church have been doing a number of things in Silver Hill. The weekend before school started, we had a back to school drive where we invited the youth to come and get their hair cut. Girls get their hair plait. Boys also got their hair plait. We handed out school books, pencils, stationery for school. And we have been working on building relationships with the youth in Silver Hill. So now that Omar is actually here, we are actually having an outreach program where Omar will share his story with the youth in Silver Hill. We're going to be on the Hara Court. I think everyone knows where the Hara Court is in Silver Hill. We're going to be there from like 6:15, and Nishawas is going to be there ministering along with Pastor Omar.
All right, and there's a worship experience on
so
Sunday, so you guys have a packed weekend.
Correct. So Sunday he's going to be back at the Blueprint community. As I said earlier, we worship at the foundation school, and we'll start at 10 and roughly finish at around 11:30, 12 o'clock the latest.
What are you hoping to come from this entire experience?
So my dream for this is that we impact young people. We impact young people and start to build a relationship with young people. So I know Pastor Omar is only here for 10 days, and when he goes, a lot of people might be asking, so Pastor Omar is gone, what else? The program finished? We done reaching out to young people? No, we are not finished reaching out to young people. We want to continue working with young people. Immediately after Pastor Omar leaves, we want to start a program in Silver Hill to cater to children, where we will invite them, share the gospel with them. They will listen to music, and then we will pack lunches or dinners, depending on what time the program is there, and give them to take home. So it's going to be a continuous thing. It's not just going to finish on October, the Pastor Omar gets back on that plane. We're going to continue to work with the young people in Silver Hill, and continue to try to get into schools and share stories from other people that had a rough childhood and saw a way out from their disaster and now living a victorious life.
That's wonderful to hear, because a lot of the times we speak with people about what's happening with them and there's no next. And next is what is important, because that's what gives people hope that things can change. So that truly is a great plan, and it's good to see that you're going to be moving forward. What's so special about this community? Where are you in the Silver Hill area?
Well, people have been asking me why we chose Silver Hill. Well, the church is at Foundation School, so Silver Hill is not far, but I spent a lot of time in Silver Hill as a young person. My wife is actually from Silver Hill. So I guess had a feeling that, I know something just drew me to Silver Hill. People might say it's the Holy Spirit that led me to Silver Hill. I would agree with that also, but I think it's because of the relationship that I had in Silver Hill from teenage years. I was always in Silver Hill. Many nights, evenings, I would be in Silver Hill. So I said to myself, you know what, this will be a good area for us to start.
And what has the response been like so far?
So I could tell you one story that impacted me tremendously. And coming up to the back to school drive, we were having problems finding a barber. Because, you know, the weekend before back to school, that's the time barbers made the most money. We were asking barbers to come and volunteer time to cut these children's hair. And I remember going through Silver Hill, and I saw a barber shop, and I stopped at the barber shop and told this barber what I am doing. And I said, we are the church, we don't have much money, we can't pay you the money that you can get. But he said, no problem, Pastor David. He said, no problem. And he came on board, he came and he cut hair from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the evening.
Wow.
And was not looking for any financial rewards. He just said to us, I want to give back to you. I want to give back to the community. So that spoke to me in volumes. It said to me, you know what? There's still people out there that want to help young people. There's still people that want to share something positive with young people. So I don't think young people are lost. I don't think a lot, as you said, people might say that they're in crisis, but I think that there are people out there that are willing to walk the extra mile to help our young people.
I absolutely agree. What advice would you give Pastor Omar from where you sit, having been through it and still living it as you continue to share your stories? What advice would you give to anyone looking on, but particularly parents? Because what stayed with me from your story was the relationship you had with your mom, and that's something I struggle with my little ones, particularly my nephews. They're all now 6-footers, so sometimes it's difficult to not see them as the little ones.
Right.
And I know it's different dealing with boys as well. So what would you say to parents who might be feeling a little frustrated, but they're not giving as much let as they should in allowing the children to grow?
I'd say one of the this is again is loaded. I guess the advice or the encouragement that I'd give to parents is there's always some level of success that you will find in your child's life, and celebrate that success that you see. I guess for the young men, treat them and allow them to be young men, and and encourage and celebrate the successes you see in their life, and not focus on the negatives. We need appreciation as young men. We need to see that we are being celebrated for the small things that we do. And I think if you just keep fanning that flame, especially for young men, they'll jump on board much more easily. For young women, I mean, I'm not a woman, so I don't really know what to say there, but I can just say for parents in general, I'd say trust the process, have faith that your children will be well, be as involved in their life as you possibly can, but allow them to explore life as well. And I know that's probably one of the trickiest things to ever hear, to release the leash a little bit. But what I can say from my story, and of course it's my experience, so I can't color it and say this will be the case for everybody, but my siblings and myself, we had the roughest start, but right now we're having the best experience in our life. So what started from something that was so drastic actually changed around by the time we matured. So I think children need to experience life and explore life in order to know what they need to do. So if parents have that same mindset, I think it will go a long way.
What say you, Pastor David?
Well, I agree. I agree a lot with Omar. One of the things that I would probably add to what Omar said is that when I was a teenager, my life wasn't that pretty either. I had a lot of struggles, but one thing that I would always hold on to is that through all my struggles, through all my bad times, through all my storms, my mother was always there by my side, always holding my hand, always encouraging me, always walking the extra mile to make sure that my tomorrow is successful. So I would say to parents, don't give up on your children. I know it could be really frustrating when you see your children, you have a dream in your head for your child, but you see your child walking a different road. It could be extremely frustrating, but don't give up on your child. Stand by your child to the end, to the very last day, to your last breath. Say, I am going to support and encourage my child. Don't allow what you're seeing with your eyes or hearing with your ears to dictate how you be a parent. Be a parent based on what is on the inside of you. You know that as a parent, you have to support and encourage to your last breath.
Yeah, and I find sometimes as parents, we view children as less than people. And I want people to hear that. And I'm going to bring tales out of school. I was in Price Smart last Sunday, and there was somebody behind me. And the way she was speaking with a little girl, she was maybe 5 years old, it really upset me. I was so angry the way she was speaking with this child. And I find that we do that a lot with children, shame them in public, maybe because that's what we're taught, particularly, culturally. It's almost like we grew up, I would imagine, hearing parents talking about going to school and beating you on the platform if you behave bad, and, blame and shame. A lot of the times, it's easy to do that. And we've proven that it really doesn't work to blame and shame.
Children are people too.
Yeah. So we have to treat them like people and talk to them like people. A lot of interactions with young people, they will tell you that they feel like their only conversations with adults, the conversations are just instructions being given,
Yeah.
or indictments on them. You are this or you are that. Do this, do that, but never a conversation as they would talk to other adults or people they respect and engage with.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a good place to start. And as parents, we can't always get it right.
Nah, we're gonna make mistakes.
We have to be okay with mistakes.
Trust me. Trust me, Sometimes you feel like you truly are failing as a parent, but like you said, Pastor David, it's always, I think it's important for people to kind of hang in there and recognize that things will get better. A final story, I attended some years ago training through UNICEF and the Eastern Caribbean Juvenile Program, another word that I hate, juvenile, because it's so negative already. I think we should banish that word from any use to do with young people. But they were talking about how we treat to young people in the media, how we portray them and stuff. And I remember one of the lawyers talking about how parents go before the courts and they throw up their arms and say, I can't deal with him anymore. I don't know what to do. I need your help. And one thing he said that stayed with me is, what that says to the courts is, he's guilty already, man. Doesn't give them a chance. So it makes people look at them differently. So when you talked about lending them that level of support to the very end, I hear that. It's very, very important. So encouraging people to come out this weekend, final words from both you gentlemen as to why people should come out and be a part of the youth rally coming up tomorrow, Friday, 7:15 at the Foundation School. And then Saturday, the community outreach in Silver Hill. Now, he's trying to convince us that he was just drawn to Silver Hill, but somehow he also told us his wife is from Silver Hill. So we all know why he was drawn to Silver Hill. We all know why you were drawn to Silver Hill, Pastor David. And then on Sunday, worship the Blue Pink community at Foundation School from 10 o'clock as well. So starting with you, Pastor Omar, why should people come out? Why should young people come out and be a part of it? And then ending with you.
I'd say young people should come out because your teenage years, your youth is probably the most important moment of your life. And if there is one moment that could impact or shape or change your direction in life, I think it will be the youth rally, where you can see a path in front of you and the path that you should not take and the path that is brighter on the other side. So I'd say this youth rally, I think, will be impactful because it may just be the place that changes your thought process on where your future is heading. So I'd say you shouldn't miss it at all.
For me, I would say every single teenager, every single young person dream of succeeding in life. You will sit down and you will say, I want to be this, I want to do that. Very few young people will ever say, I want to be a failure. But as Pastor Omar said, the years as a teenager will help. The decisions that you make as a teenager is going to determine if you're going to succeed as a young adult or if you're going to fail. And I think this weekend is going to be perfect. It's an excellent opportunity for you to see how you can succeed. Guidelines and steps through Pastor Omar's story on things that you can do or put in place in your life as a teenager to make sure that you succeed as a young adult and as a citizen of Barbados.
Excellent. Pastor David Hines, pastor of the Blueprint Community-Based Church, Barbados, and Omar Taki, pastor of Arc 2.0, based in the UK. Thank you both, gentlemen, for coming in and sharing with us. We wish you the very best on this rally this weekend. Always good to hear that the church is reaching into the community and taking the lead. That's what churches have always done, and that's what they need to do. So kudos to you.
Thank you. I guess want to give a thank you to some people that really made this program possible for us. There's People's Cathedral. I think everyone knows People's Cathedral. They came on board, they heard what we were doing, and they came on board, and they have been very, very supportive. And then there's Hunt's Auto Spares. Hunt's Auto Spares is not too far from Silver Hills, just the bottom of Kinder Hill. And they came on board with sponsorship and Thanks It. Thanks It is actually behind CBC. They came on board and they also lend some sponsorship to the program. So I guess I want to thank those. And there are a number of other churches inside of Silver Hill that are coming on board, heard about the program, and they're coming on board, and they're very supportive.
All right, we're going to have an entire program for Pastor David because He doesn't want to stop, but that's okay.
I did.
I want to thank you, gentlemen, again for coming in and wish you the very best on for the entire weekend on this program. Remember, what you need to remember is tomorrow the youth rally, Saturday the outreach, Sunday worship. It's an entire weekend dedicated to the youth. Exodus, the way out. Make sure you're a part of it. We're going to take a break here and come on back. It's Morning Barbados, 18 minutes before 8 o'clock. That means we just have about 18 minutes left together, but we have lots planned still, so stay with me.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
I'm Anne St. John, a consultant pediatrician. When packing healthy lunch boxes, do include a fruit, which includes a banana, apple, orange, or grapes to supply fiber. Aim for low-calorie packaged snacks without the mention of flour or sugar amongst the first 4 ingredients on the back label. 1 in 3 children in Barbados is affected by overweight or obesity. Let us join together as parents and care providers to reduce the further development of this chronic non-communicable disease within our communities.
Hey, not only grown-ups can sing, we can too.
I was still a child, didn't get the chance to.
CBC TV 8 is having a kids karaoke show just for us. So children between the ages of 5 to 17 comment and join in for fun. Email Nadia Foster at nfoster@cbc.bb. Hear you soon. Bye.
For the past 19 years, QFM has been sharing with you, learning from you, and together building a community for all mature audiences. That's why we say Q is good for you. To our Q family, we say thank you for staying connected to Q 100.7 FM. QFM is a station of the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. CBC, celebrating 60, connecting Barbadian communities. Are you a youth group, 4-H club, school, Cub Scout, or Brownie Pack, or any
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, it's been some time since we've done the social media buzz, so we're taking that in this morning. So let's talk to you about some of what's going on online. If you're anything like me, once I get to scrolling on Instagram, sometimes I can be there for quite a long time, and I have to pull myself away from the phone, from looking at the TikTok videos if I'm on TikTok or snaps. And you know, sometimes you can really get caught up with those things, but there are some funny Barbadians, and we're going to be sharing a little bit about that for you. But as we continue to celebrate exceptional youth, we hear about a young man who yesterday on World Animal Day, a student of the grade in Sealy Secondary School, he found a little animal and he decided to take care of it. Guess where? At school. We found this one online and we just wanted to share it with you.
I don't like cats, but let me hear. Let me hear the story behind this cat.
So this evening, I was here waiting for a
This
bus.
evening, you mean yesterday?
Oh yeah, my bad. And I see cat, and I pick it up, and then I put it down because you're not supposed to touch newborns. Then it's hard for me, but my principal tell me to take it home and ask if my mother want. And she said if my father adopted, since he had 2 cats already, that I could keep it. So I asked Brent if I could carry it to school. I did, so I could take care of it because MJ won't take care of it at home. So now yeah, I already check it for anything, beat it. If falling asleep right now, that's gonna go.
You fed it for the morning?
Yeah.
We
I
get-
eat a lot of godfather. You see a lot.
Oh, y'all can help.
No,
I would, ma'am, I would help. I would help.
Somebody's the actual
I love cats. I
I see how cool
love cats. I get my own cat day when I'm at home.
Yo, it's not.
I am not doing a cat.
No. You gotta, you bid it?
I already check it ears and I check it butt. Make sure they're high anything.
Very good.
I am very sorry, but I'm not checking.
So you're having this kitten for the day?
Oh, for a week.
For the whole, all right. I hope you know when you poo and pee until you got to clean up behind it.
Exactly.
I had
Okay.
Joey to pee there, right?
All right, good. All right.
Very well.
But I'm still gonna put one in the newspaper.
Stop recording?
Yeah.
So that's recorded by teacher Stephanie Chase. I think it's cute. Did he say that he's the godfather? I love it, but it's great to see, the kids at school bonding over something interesting, like finding a kitten and taking it home. I also found it funny when he said that his mother said if his father would adopt the cat, he could keep it. It's so funny. Interesting stuff. All right, someone who always makes me laugh, no matter what they're doing. I mean, he has these funny songs that he sings all the time. Used to be a part of a group. Now he's kind of broken out and broken away, and he does his own thing. I'm talking about a guy by the name of Gibbsy Dan. He is the funniest guy ever. I really, really enjoy his presentations. Now, in the next video, popular social media personality and, of course, artist Gibbsy Dan, he did this video on Monday thanking Bajans for the relief from the heat that we were experiencing. And it was just too funny not to share. Check it out.
Listen, I want to thank all of the beautiful Barbadians out there for coming together as a nation and collectively sending prayers to the heavens. Because in return for those prayers, we were blessed with bountiful showers. Now, the showers come as lightning, so maybe we pray a little too hard, but the point is, the prayers work. And if not for these collective efforts from everybody in this country, all we will still be suffering. And that's why I just want to say thanks to all y'all, because I cannot do it by myself. I send out some prayers, but it take a whole nation to give you a little respite from this heat. Because I was deading, and you was deading. We was deading together as a nation, and we decided to do something about it. All of us should be proud of ourselves today. Because I hear I don't know. And for the first time in a little while, I feel like if I ain't getting dead from this heat. That means something to me. It should mean something to you as well. Be proud of yourself. Thank you so much, Bajans.
I was deading. You was deading. Oh, Gibbsy Dan, you are too funny. You have to check out his music, though. He has that song from last Christmas, the Blessing Circle song. Yeah, that's him with the Blessing Circle song. And then he has another song about being on a minibus. So if you've not heard Gibbsy's music or you have not made that connection, you definitely should check it out. But he definitely does some fantastic work. So that was very, very funny. And then as I scroll through, this next guy is no stranger to Morning Barbados. He had a stint while Cassandra and Shane were on, and he used to come on every week and cook up a storm. I'm talking about Chef Adrian. So on Monday, when we were having all that rain and all that lightning, he said that he felt for something very interesting, and it took me back to my childhood days, and I thought that we would also share this with you. So here's Chef Adrian sharing a very interesting recipe.
Hi guys, Chef Adrian here. Outside nice and gloomy. Make me feel it for some rice tea. Wash 2 cups of rice. You got 3 tablespoons of sugar, layer cocoa powder, nutmeg, cinnamon, clove, some dry bay leaf. I don't have no fresh coconut, but this could work. Atlantic fresh coconut milk, some evaporated milk, some milk mix, salt in the water, not too much. You want to cook your rice and it look just like this. Okay, not too much water gone, beautiful and nice and fluffy. Then you're gonna add your half cup of coconut milk. Then you're gonna add your milk, essence, and everything mixed in there. Add all your spices in this pot, your bay leaf, and you're gonna let this baby simmer. Guys, remember the Barbados Food and Rum Festival is 20 days away, okay? Rice tea in an enamel cup. Grind, I miss you, girl. Enjoy one afternoon here. See y'all later.
Yeah, he calls it rice tea, but we used to call it rice milk. I don't know. Did you call it rice milk, Peter, or rice tea? Peter is a camera guy. He's talking to me in the studio. He said rice milk too, but I remember we used it. But he didn't have fresh coconut, and he acknowledged that. So good morning, Chef Adrian. But I know my favorite thing about rice milk was the coconut. You know, so you got that little chewy coconut at the end. But he gave me some ideas because now I want to introduce that to the younger ones. I don't think I've ever made that for the next generation of Heinz's. So I'm going to be making that. Thanks to you, Chef Adrian. All right, so remember today is a very special day for many, many reasons. Today is a day we want you to be nice because it's been designated as National Be Nice Day. I commit to being nice today. I'm going to be nice no matter what, all day today. So maybe if you want to ask me something and you want the answer to be yes, unless you're asking for money, then you should ask me today, right? It's National Be Nice Day, so be nice today. Be kind. Do something nice for somebody else. And go ahead, spread the word. Invite your friends over for a little dinner party. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, you know, a little cook-up or something, and just be nice. And today is also a day that we are celebrating teachers. So we want you to share a fantastic teacher story. It's World Teachers Day. We want you to share a fantastic teacher story. We're going to take one of your stories when we come back from this break. Think of a teacher who's impacted on your life in a tremendous way and call us on 228-5562 or 228-5563 and share that story. That's next.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Are you a youth group, 4-H club, school, Cub Scout, or Brownie Pack, or any organization or club with children ages 4 to 11 years? If yes is the answer, then we at Fun School, we're looking for you. Let's have fun singing, dancing, listening to amazing stories, doing craft, and so much more. I'm such a kid at heart. But to be part of this fun and exciting new season of Fun School, just simply send an email to Alicia Alves Grant at aa.grant@cbc.bb for further details. Fun School is back, and we're looking for you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so you must have a fantastic teacher story, a teacher who did something amazing for you, changed your life, or was just really, really great to you, impacted your life in some amazing way. Make sure you reach out to them today if you can and let them know what they did for your life. All right, listen, the time has gone by so quickly. We're already out of time. So we can't take your calls. Who knows? We might be able to do that another time, or we might be able to do some recordings and share them. It's always wonderful to talk about teachers. So coming up today is Q in the Community. Follow us to Q in the Community today, October 5th, at the Final Furlong Bar. The Final Furlong Bar, Garrison, Savannah, Garrison, St. Michael. Of course, you can tune in to Q 100.7 FM for the live broadcast that's going to be coming on. So make sure you check that out. Jaquila is going to be there taking care of you. So make sure you check that out. All right. Q in the Community today at the Final Furlong Bar, Garrison, Savannah. It starts from 11 o'clock this morning. Thanks to all of our sponsors who make Q simply amazing. So come on out. And of course, to all the people who don't miss Q one single Thursday. I know you're definitely a family. Hey, coming up on tomorrow's edition of Morning Barbados, we meet some more of the athletes who will be going off to the Pan American Games scheduled to be held in Santiago, Chile from October 20th to November 5th. We also chat with Ronelle King. You all know her as the director of Life in Leggings, and she's on a new journey, and that is as an Obama Foundation scholar. So we'll find out more from her about that journey. And, you know, there's so much more happening on tomorrow's edition. It's, of course, Friday. So all this month is breast cancer awareness. So we're encouraging you to wear your pink tomorrow. I have pink toes. So who knows, I might wear pink tomorrow too. Make sure you wear your pink. On behalf of the entire crew, do have a great day today. Remember to be nice. Salute your teachers. Wear your smiles. Do something nice for someone. You can't see the toes in these shoes. Like, you can barely see it peeking out. The fellas are trying to see pink toes. Yeah, no, I'm moving. Can't see them. Yeah, they're horrible. No, we're not doing that. I'm going to hide that. All right, on behalf of the entire crew, have a great day today. These ones in here are going to be nice to me today, I hope. Fingers crossed. See you tomorrow. Come on back. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.